to bring about equal development across these countries. But again, you see, a county is given money on the basis of how many people live in that county. You cannot give the same money okwa Kisii to Marsabit. That's why Kisii ekwa more money than Marsabit. The only way you can compare the two is in terms of leadership that is in place. Yesterday, I was an interview somewhere else. What is it that is happening in Makueni that cannot happen in Kisii County? Makueni boniga a quarter of the budget ya Makueni in every financial year. Because there is sound leadership in MCS, our oversight, and there is sound leadership in the government. A quarter of the money in every budget is channeled towards developing cottage industries. That's why that county is now among the emerging counties in terms of industrialization. But what is happening here in Kisii or another county? We are only seeing drama everywhere.
Mheshimiwa na mono ingatire nkubwatira ningane yenga na singi ntobara ibatari gukwana tuchakire county assembly toche we know a role for example as a kibo senator actually na went to raise a voice at the same time boni gamna to gukwana gachi constituency nchire go sechinsembo nchire abare barase serikali bagotabanga kwa kweli nuko kama bagendere tabaraikirania magendo lakini sokurigile chibunge chinde abarayibare bagotabanga ntu echibunge chetu ntiranyora singinchunga ntu twakire tegesko ye serikali. So is that
you see kwamboli riswali ligi ya sana katiba ya Kenya bonigere a progressive constitution. A katiba does not allow omochumba gende state house konyarama ama gendero. Amagendera Kenya niga kobaganu in the National Assembly. Ekere bakorosie budget. So omochumbo mungaini ekere budget ekorosi uno akobeka ebintu bi constituency ya ese budget. Because even if you go to state house, onye para kwa inkoligi tebekire ese budget. The president cannot be able to make that road. Our country is run by a budget. So I wonder when some people say ngabatete kokama. That's why okokamoko kwa electric ghost projects all over. I told you, there are so many foundation stones from schools, from universities, from roads, from hospitals. It's only foundation stones. And the promise is purely a lie. Airport a president why is it not done? It's because he launches something he categorically knows that is not in the budget. How many roads are those roads in the budget? They are not in the budget. Omo Kenya na wene koba fairly kina manyana na ki any road that is going to be launched in this constituency. The first thing you must make sure is to go to the budget estimates and ascertain whether that road is in the budget.
So Mheshimiwa, you are trying to say that ndaka waraya bare against the government or sabara opposition talinga ne serikali tari ko babe sana bara.
Right yogo to tebinga nga serikali tera bakorea gas. Serikali executive works. You see, ekatiba ya itone bwate ngendo nga separation of powers. And this separation of powers brings about the responsibilities of the executive and the responsibilities of the county assembly or the national assembly. The work of the national assembly is to prepare a budget. And a budget is a policy document, outline how this work, all our projects and the policies are going to be implemented. The person who generates the budget is the national assembly. So mochumbo nebarongo gose mochumbe ondebuensi gose kibagendi tabugatira ikiogo cha gotebya bakanyanga tinda akorirwe gasi ngoko bantali ese serikali. What is his voice in the National Assembly ka the budget ekorosu? Where does he go? Where does he find himself ka the budget ekorosu? Because a budget must be able to cater for all interest of everybody in the whole country. That is where we go wrong. We have just to analyze or take a narrative siaba na siasa more than what is essentially on the table. You cannot create serikali tera korosire para onya we katusku metie para USS budget. And in the budget, the goodness, the constitution allows both opposition and those in government to sit in the budget. The only challenge to what abajumba some of them don't have interest ya mwananchi at heart. Ekere para ya netara so ese budget. I sit in parliament. Parliament is the one that makes this budget. I should stand in parliament and ask why a parliament navigate a budget allocated funds for it to be done.
Alright, ngachire tutimoke kidogo tukirotya tigirete daika isato chio katonyera mangana majasinchira ere yoboy kirano isato chibono mambia si studio tagendere tugosangana mheshimiwa Dennis Masenge yokulikiro kibo senator county ya kisachi leto kwira na baadaye omweshimiwa ndo chukumulekira na mono obukorerwe county yeto ya Kisi obukorerwe county ya Nyamira chinduke the first lady murobere ne mambiengi ato baisa kogendera gutuma ujumbe ya wetere SMS line o 7061020 tukira kwenda sense ya Facebook live radio Vuna 102.0 FM tega ujumbe ya garoro abo igono tora sensemo ya YouTube live semambe ya bono
Nadia Hardware and Electricals neduke koni bintu bionsi ibiobwagachi yani all construction materials buna chisimiti chichuma emesumari na binding wires plumbing materials mbabuate chitangi waste pipes and all fittings electrical accessories njireo buna cables bulbs downlighters na consumer units fencing materials mbabuate chipost barbed wires na chainlings as interior finishers njireo paints tiles PVC ceilings handles locks na flash doors mbabuate boigo e machine yoko mix chirangi Nadia Hardware and Electricals nigotogotoka Kijauri na Keroka asoro segerwa Kijauri asebale kubota ni Keroka na Chebirate twakere simia sinamba 0718 530 990 main branch bono ya Igoirwe imeyomo chokeroka ansensemo yilibwago barabari ni nyagetale nene ya Keroka level 5 ebare nene ya Keroka metamaywa twakere simi 0715 553 775 Nadia Hardware and Electricals naora nyoli bintu bionsi byobwagachi karibu sana
Vuna FM 102.0 Radio Talk. Vuna FM. Vuna FM. Atoseseni wa motwensi. Tokuneke minero. Vuna FM 102.0 Radio Talk. Vuna FM. Toseseni wekerenga ki. Vuna FM. Toseseni wekerenga ki. Toseseni wekerenga ki. Toseseni we na Vuna FM. Toseseni we na Vuna FM. Toseseni wekerenga ki. Atotega twenzi Vuna FM. Atoseseni wa motwenzi. Tokuneke minero.
Aya namangana maya asinjira yuwekirano kurwa chinkonko inyichinsi imeya Radio Vuna.
Isato chabono mambio mwancho motegeraria mangana maya asinjira yoboekirano Radio Vuna 102.0 FM eriatariane ana Barongo. Mwaziri Bomorenda boime Kipchumba Murkomen na Inspector General Bobanyanyimbo mbatari tasenya gitari ya Kenyatta kwa morora Recho Wandeto. Mwaziri Bobwaga chine chipare kaunti ya Nyamira Grace Nyamongo nenyorere tekewa soko koremereme mya. Raibensi ya Kenya Dr. William Ruto na kurete chinkwana na mraibensi ya Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyefase ensemo ya Baku Olimpika. Sainenda mange na kwariganire tumanyia sinchira yoboekirano Radio Vuna 102.0 FM retariane ana Barongo. mwaziri mwaziri bwagachi nechipara se kaunti ya Nyamira Grace Nyamongo nenyoretekewa kuruasiri shirika rya East Africa Super Women Awards na bwege kiombe kia maendeleo ya wanawake ekio kyanyoretekewa asemerememia ekiombe kikegokora na aboigo mwaziri uyo Grace asomo kiaberega kubeka muno musubati abarayabo bagokwana nabarikia mangana nigo bakirebuya ase okwegenwa bairwe na kuirira barabuo kobwa ebyewebyo nigo batebire mbachikogendera gukora emirimo n'umukia bagosaba abasubati gusirwa na goteba n'abasubati nabo bakoba barayaba yakobwa nonya n'abasacha ise kurigererwa buno musubati nabo atesemi isaine
Mchenkoro kwanga Dr. Grace Bosibori Nyamongo kurwa county ya Nyamira n'umwaziri w'Echipara ase tukoria rero nabere no mogoko monene asengencho yokonyora eza wadi ye ba omo mwaziri okorega sibuya mono asi South Africa naende yuna ngotebanga libageri byabangina taibangina bo abangina paka banyare kokorega asi kero basomete mungina takonyara kero bagotebi ko basomi abana babo iga baba somye gera abandi babechinjini abandi baba banyagetari egere banyare kuba bakonyora chigashinane igo nto base gosireria abana baito chinyaruka asa masomo abo naende gotebanga lasiende onsi umusacha agokora ono musubati na bagokora gento ke musubati atakore kiagera anyochire school nendo somire bakanyare gokorega seyo
na togoska bosio mwaziri boborendi bwaime ya Kenya Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen amono Inspector General b'abanyanyimbo Douglas Kanja batarete goikasi nyagitari ya Kenyatta eriko morora recho wandeto oyonyara ko bakagotigerwa chingoma kubwatekana na keria bunanigarenge gokwanira manganaye agesiasa gokwana nabariki isiko ya nyagitari ya Kenyatta Murkomen na Kanja batebere buna obotukimbo chiko babogo korwa sengani yu na kurigereri wasoboime asebagi kerege kore ekyo na gotebati bari gocha kunyara koba bagwancha anene mono amangananga buna ywabe kago korwa chinga kichiga Kenya egendrete kuyarigania sobochori bore motwe murukomeno tebirekero yo mona bwateri bagano bosibole bokweresa na monase omosima moye o siasa.
If it is true, because as I told you, the police are investigating, and of course that is a possible lead. And if it is true, as has been, there has been speculations around the possibility of political motive by basically attacking her for her political beliefs. This is really then very dangerous for our country. It will go to show that this ethnic rhetoric that is divisive, that preaches violence, is beginning to rear its ugly head in our country, and that should that be the motive, we will of course go for all the planners, and I believe that we must be able to deal with this, punish them severely in such a way that no one else will repeat such an act again. I want to ask again to caution all the political leaders in their political rhetoric to stop inciting the people of Kenya.
Asense moya monene bo banyanyimbo imense Douglas Kanja hotebrevna abo baikiranetie ayumba chigwe kiwasike gambiro eri bagambiwe bakomoganeria recho okubwena kwa bwango na kumwenekeria bune serikali nsiburaibwayo muraibwense Daktari William Ruto mbache gotene na monere na monaso kurigereria chibesa chirakanwe kubwatekana no kubweni wakwae na kunyora maliogo gweka obweniwe.
As the CS has said, we are here, first of all, in solidarity to which that ready quick recovery. And number two, to reassure her and the country that we are on top of the investigations. The investigations have commenced yesterday. The DCI have been directed to move with speed and unravel what happened, so that all those who are involved, they must have their day before the court of law. And we must also, number two, get to understand the motives behind that, so that we can be able to deal accordingly. Thank you very much.
Maybe something just I forgot is to say we wish Rachel quick recovery. pray. We wish grace to their families, even as they come to terms with the injuries and suffering of their loved one. And we pray for God's grace that she may recover quickly, and to say that the government of Kenya, led by His Excellency the President, will support this family through this very difficult moment.
FM.
Na togoska bosi mwancho motegereria muraibwensi ya Kenya Daktari William Ruto na korete chinkwana no muraibwensi ya Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev asensemo ya Baku Olympic aseba kwanireta mangana au gati ya bokobwatirana erigo tinge bokoreri asegati echinse choibere. Ruto ni garenge no mwaziri bo mangana echinse chaisko Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi gati ya buraibande abange abo baenegatie okobwatirana gati echinse chibere eryo kwene kibuna gusuka chirebosyo. Muraibwense nagenderete kwegerera serikali yaye asebitambukiro ya kirebone nchiremo yo gukinia uchumi na kugendereria ense engaki atebiro bunense ya Kenya nigo yaringa sabe gusinywa gwakana makabesa mange ayuchi serikali chiaitire konyora chiasabire otebire bonense ya Kenya nigo ya keirie okonia weshilingi ya Kenya gochichinse chaisko korwa chishilingi emiemo 50 mo goika emieme 29 buna ayenyorete kagoswa bisi asebo igamentre buna ensi ya Kenya nigeregatie chinse isano nemo echichibwate uchumi engia kubwatekana n'ebitambukiro biri serikali yairire insemi ya Kenya elia yaberira bisi nonyenabo omentre buna ba Kenya nigo baramobeke eratiri kubwatekana n'emireme iyo yaye aikeranirie geko lenganiwa na balia bagendrete kumwamereria na engaki ayo agendrete gati ya baraikoro Sorogongo rwa Rift Valley abubako bwatesie kiama kya UDA nigo bono bagosereirie obomo obwo kwamereria serikali bunanige kiama ekyo kerachiko bochori bokase bunge ya Olkalau eyo gotoke county Nyandarua asobochori obwo borobeire gochego korekana chitariki 14 omotenyo 5 na kabere abarayabo nigo barenge ko yakwana yo chinga kibaringe gochengero bobuibwe kiama kya UDA asobochori boke bwakorekana bwangoiga asebunge ya Emurwa Dikir ase David Kipsang Keter abuete obochori obwo ase namone ward ya Endo ase county Elgeyo Marakwet namone ward ya Poro county ya Samburu.
UDA ni chama cha kuotea mbali. Wacha niwaambie wenye wako kwa vyama vingine wanataka kusimama viti asua hapa Rift Valley na Baringo. Jana tumeweza kunyorosha kule Emurwa Dikir. Si mnajua kulikuwa na uchaguzi ya by election ya mjumbe ya Emurwa Dikir. UDA walifanya ama hawakufanya? Kule Samburu vile vile UDA ilifanya maneno ama haikufanya? Hata hapa Baringo 2027 lazima tuwanyoroshe na chama yote itakuwa UDA kuanzia MCA mpaka governor mpaka president huko juu, si ndio?
Mumeona wale watu wa kelele, wale wa opposition wamekuwa na kelele mingi, lakini ikifika kwa debe tunawabwaga. Walikuwa na kelele watashinda kule Emurwa Dikir, wamelimwa ama hawajalimwa? Na hata huko Olkalau tutawalima huko. Unajua upinzani ya Kenya it is so useless kiwango kwamba kiongozi reject wa UDA mwenye alikuwa na tabia mbaya tukamtoa kazi ndio anaenda kupanga upinzani. Mtu kama huyo anaweza kupanga upinzani gani? Kwa hivyo tutawalima wango tukutane Olkalau. Hata mimi ni shemeji ya huko nakuja kuishi huko.
Mrayo manene bwekiama kia DCP Rigathi Gachagua oyure imeyense ya Bongereza asekerenga gioko bwatesi wa wekiama kia ya DCP na bakenya bare enseyo ananase okweroberia gocha sobochori manene bore motwe otebire nigara chiwe watananda chikura chomrai bwensomboske William Ruto gatigati Sorogongo rwa Rift Valley gobwatekana na machibu yo bochori boke obo bwakorekana sebungi ya Emurwa Dikir asomurwanereria bwe kiama kia DCP Vincent Rotich oyo okolete namba ibere anyorete chikura chiribu 10 chimisano na ibere 50 mo aseno nyanabo amochiri serikali asobokurumi obogendrete kwenekiwe meyense na otebire buna nigo bokurumi obo bwabeiro bobemono no gokina kwa makabesa asasabira bakenya abo gokora gosego koro bonchoreria gochense ya Kenya erinde koyekinia boigo bali baikeranita segekari ekyo nigo bakwanereto kwerwa gwekiamo ekyo gya DCP asokoreta maonchoreria yobrai na kwali bagalia bene abakenya bebirengo byainse.
There's nothing as good in an election as people who have a personal issue. So before we start this election, 10.5 million against William Ruto is ready. So everywhere is one term. You saw we had an election in a place called Emurwa Dikir. That is Ruto's supposed bedroom. He had to bribe people at home to vote for UDA. 11,000 people took his money and voted against him. That Rift Valley, we shall split with him half-half. And that is the only place he'll get half. We have 15 months to go, struggling and suffering. And him and his people are stealing everything because they know they are not coming back. And these guys have no qualms about destroying institutions. They cry to you to help us to invest back home and to look for investors to come and invest back home. By the time this guy goes, our debt will be almost 14 trillion.
As the party words say, that skis are ground, but it's about the people. It's about the governance. It's about someone who's creating a platform for ordinary mwananchi.
Waikirabo manchimo tegerarino nko yabutorera senchira yoboy kiranu e radio Vuna 102.0 FM eriatariane ana barongo.
Uyonoro mweli obwa mangana majia asenchira yoboy kiranu.
Vuna FM. Eke minero.
Gitari ya Nairobi Family and Maternity nigo ya kwariganiria sokorengo kwa busa asa marwire buna fistula na urogynecology. Inyora nigo bakorenga kerarituko gucyakere tarikia yemo gwikemero ngevere na ibere cy'umutinyoyo. Inchorengwe n'abanyagitari babwatu bumanyi boigoro monokuru cinse cyisiko na boigo abanyagitari baito. Boigo ntorenge laparoscopy asa marwire buna cyst, fibroid, hysterectomy na marwire onsi y'abasubati. Inyora ngwanchera bare kadiasha. Asa mange vanyore kisi epara ya kisi nyatieko gusana boko barikira liuko ase info@nairobifamilyhospitals.org bakere simya se namba 0711526162 gose 0704760443. The Nairobi Family and Maternity Hospitals, because your health matters.
Rocky Driving School. Na kora nyora masomo ya bogende chigari. Gochakra class A2, A3, B1, B2 light vehicle, automatic, B3 professional, C1 light trucks, CE a heavy trucks, D1 ye chigari chia PSV chokubugulia banto 14, D2 na D3 ye chibasi. Boigo, bavata masomo ye keraskia F asabanto vale no bolema. Nichikosi chinke buna P ECD, P Executive, Basic Mechanics, Basic First Aid, nechinda chinyinge. Rocky Driving School, evanchiri na NTSA, kurobo koribwa masoma maya keralituko. Imeyumu chubo songo, batarira samagacha Market Plaza, Nyakoe, Kioge Junction, Ogembo, banyole chimite mieyemo, kurwe bara ya Mosura, Nyamire bara samagacho, Amanga, Sama Petrol Station, na Kilgoris Town, Mbaleo. Inyora, mbawate ofa asebali bakolire Form 4. Wakari simia sin number 0723 803 503 0723 803 503. Rocky Driving School. Safe driving is our top priority.
Ngolia ore skuru engia so mwana go munyaruka arasome grade 10 St Alois Milimani Senior Girls Matibone kwaliganetie skuru eje nigo ebwata balimu bwato manye boigoro omoroberio OCPE okubwatigwa bwekanu na byonsi byabekirwaroro wekirania amasomo STEM na social sciences chinyumba chingiya choboraro yani boarding section e uniform yo mwana go nigo okoigwa bosa toibamba nyore amaigerio yedini skuru eje nigo egotoka Matibo ane kilomita inye korwa Masimba ne kilomita isano ibere korwa Keroka ayerera ubwatere umwana wo o grade 10 libaga assistant Alois Milimani Senior Girls School. Kumbuka mazingira ni bora, ni boarding na wanafunzi wa dini. Asamange aka esinyase namba 0724481642 0724481642 St Alois Milimani Senior Girls School.
Strive for excellence. Perfect.
From 2, 3, 4, wonderful. It had to be. He's at it again in a Merseyside derby this time. That is quite something. The boy's a star. One glorious goal.
Aya na mga namayanje chikosoli na kolentwa sole na Radio Vuna.
Alright, toma chomo tegalingo kwa nwa cha sebro biechiko sorry. Washko igwari abirika watakura sebro biechiko sorry chinga kiechiga chabono mambia chabto grade kai komina kianda maga yechin saisato chabono mambia amarieta ne number kianda Franco ko changa junior. Ekimina no Kenyanza Regional yigini go kia go soreti weli tukaligoro engaki timu ya Kameri Park ne timu ya Misesi cyara go soria asegeti kya Misesi tukaligoro engaki ekimina nekyo Kenyanza tieti go ribera sibere abwase kibura buru chintindi cyabete chikone kiwase ekimina nekyo enyorunge timu ya Kameri Park ni go babete bagosaga nwane go sori nama abatyotereri ya timu ya Misesi abwese babete chinkoma chintindi na gwata egari ya Kameri Park abwese banyatete ebirore na konyesalia asenseme yo maega yekemina nekyo getaraera abwase kiburaburu ekyo cyabete chikoreta chinkoma chintinde we cyasaba gosoria betimu ya Kameri Park asenseme yo Tokorwa bunenga kitoko swase kemina no kiana sono Super League kiabete kokosori wali tukorigoro enga timu ya Equity Bank ya chete makari makane timu ya Kisumu All Stars asogota nyonse negoriende yonse timu ya Mombasa United nigo ya nyekongo tete timu ya Nairobi City Stars chigori bera semo na baige timu ya Kabati Karese senya kemininga timu ya Talanta ya nyikore tete chigori setase bosa timu ya Luanda Vera nigo ya nyekongo tete timu ya Mwatate United asokoje Simba chigori bera sebosa na baige timu ya MCF na baige timu ya MCF Kanyakongonte timu ya Nzoia Sugar chigo egori ya Masebosa timu ya Figa United Kanyakongonte timu ya Soy United egori ya Mo Asebosa na baige timu ya Fortune Sako Kanyakongonte timu ya Migori egori ya Masebosa.
tokorwa bunenga kitoko swa sekemirano kya nasono tokorwa bunenga kitoko swa sekemirano gya KPL o sekemirano kerigenene ya Kenya kikiabete ko sari wali tukori igora enenga kya timu ya Shabana yanye ikorete timu ya Bidco United abwesenye Simba kategori ya masebosa enyorunge timu ya gari tukori ya chuma mosio mugavana bwe county ya Kisiporo Simbarate nikanye bwatokera chishiringi chimilioni 10 abo asebabete bagokora bya sekemirano kyori tukori igora asense meria igetikia mwea timu ya Gor Mahia niko yanye kongontete timu ya Murang'a Seal chigori sato asemo asekimina nekyo keligenene enyorunge timu ya Gor Mahia kwekira boni gani go etanga ina asekimina nekine point 50 mona isano na isato yagosoire mirane 30 na bibere ebwatune timu FC Leopards ne point 50 mona inye yagosoire mirane 30 na bibere na mbaisato ne timu ya Police ne point 50 na ibere yagosoiri eminane 30 nekemo tokorwa bunenga kitoko swa ase chimbero chiri chigendreta sense meria ya Akiragana chimeka ntenga Africa Championship abwa somo rutiri timo Diego abeireka gokora biyana kwa ense ya Kenya gold medal ase chikosori chigendreta sense meria ya Akiragana aseboni gaba Kenya niko bagendrete komesa ase chikosori echo chigendrete kubwa tumurro mutindi ni chiko komanya padai ngaki abakenya bagendrete kokora ya ase chikosori echo ngaki chikosori echigendrete kubwato muriro mutinde nakorwa chinse cheisiko ekimirano gya FA kikiabete kosori wase finale timu ya Chelsea ngo ikortune timu ya Manchester City abwese nyagete egori ya masebosa bono timu ya Manchester City ngo yanyore kiminane kyo ase koira obonyangongo bwo abwese yagete timu ya Chelsea egori ya masebosa tokorwa bunenga kitoko swa sekemirano gya CAF Confederation ya Sejibreyov kiabete kokosari wenga kia timu ya Samaleka ya chiete makari makane timu ya USM ye korwa senseri ya Arichaza kemirane kionigo gya sweta sejipenata abu ase timu ya abwase timu ya Samareki yabeta abanyangongo omwancho motegereri kerike bwatomo chakanonge bwatomo erio kwekirabno na ikero mari kurase bro byetiko sori ya seri tukeri gari ya chuma 3 ninchiko na igansa isano nenuso nechinsa kianda nenuso amonense Japona Maragoba Amarieta nena mbarkianda Franco kwa changa junior toshaga kwa sasa na toka
beautiful something close to genius. He's turned the tie around all by himself.
Oyo noro mwelyo pomangana majia yechigosoli kwa Radio Vuna.
Alright, biya kigima mirongo ibiri na isano na chio chidaika chia butokire chinsa ni sato chia bono mambe konyurira mangana majia nchira eri yoboe kireno karibu sana naenda se studio ekireto gendrete ni kwani yetasema mbia bono igeme Radio Vuna 102.0 FM mrubere ne mambengi yanyako bwate wete kusangana tuseme sala no 706102102 kirakonda sensemo ya Facebook YouTube Radio Vuna 102.0 FM na boko boe karibu liriaro ekireto gendrete kusangana mheshimiwa Dennis Masenge yukurekero kebo Senator se county ya Kisinga nchire tugendere ni kwana yetu kidogo tu kisha baadaye tuchukoma tegereri libaga anyareko wagakuruta mboto abere atatoiga kabisa mheshimiwa in fact nganchere turamurekera ase county yetu ya Kisii kidogo tu akira gutema kurigile chi project nchere cha getewe na nditorera barai bagotebanga chi project cha kire koroso for example ne bagotebegete kya Gusii Stadium cancer center ne gendrete korosigwa marebensa na torirete ira gatebanga getange nkobekwa keregari Nyamira rugoro so ade real a university rugoro gwatabarek charure ngikigendreta
ntakete gotebia bantu baminto ubo maene ncho you know I'm a political scientist by profession kende gionsi president alonchiri ni Kisii not even one is in the budget. That's why okonyore contractor liria gocha koloncha contractor gocha gane chi tractor ibere ne chitiba na ande mambia kwa koraki chianganya chiagenda. And there has been complaints in your media. You can be able to go and mokole oversight on those projects. There is not even one project that is ongoing. The only project that is ongoing maybe is the cancer center because it's funded by donors. But any project that is funded by the government of Kenya, most of them are stalled. There is nothing that is ongoing in those projects. Unless another way you give me an example of a project that is ongoing, then you prove me wrong. And if it's ongoing, it's a contractor that is mark timing too because he has no resources of doing that project. A project no ne moya iru resources in a party san. Now if there are some projects here ongoing, maybe each project chire maybe South Mugirango and the Kitu Jajeno testing into the 2 MPs are fairly close to power and most of Jafet sits in the finance committee. Finance committee never can budget. Quarrel. Osoro is the chief whip. Chief whip cuts across system mobilizer of actually a chief whip no mobilizer bajumbe but defend serikali. So maybe the two constituencies is where you can get a project that's ongoing. But all these other constituencies, it's just a public PR.
So you mean that thing on your project
I don't think in because how can you give priority to new projects? Only all the projects muna paraya bone bomachoki ke restalled. Daracha nchiyo chiwe tamna bone mbulego tu daracha ya Kenyenya kwamboka uchimagenchi ya bunegete. Bantu mbali kunyara goeta. Bona abantu bagweta bugirango bachikoruguru muteiribe bamanya connect to umuntu gocha mukubo goso umuntu kwenda nyagancha no agweta ko muteiribe because daracha ya Kenyenya yabutugete. That is one of the bridges. Daracha ya Lio Kindo buone bo machoge teiyo ebutugete teiyo. The reason why those roads have not those are projects here chagetu in 2017. Onye a project ya 2017 tera kurumba kalero. Do you expect a new project here a kickstart? Those are just public PR. Those are just public PR. President sitting.
Actually, I was listening to Bomorenda Kurugusega. Actually, I was blaming. I got banga some tinsemo chinyinge project in Tiraikerna singing chunga bara yaba mbariko watia. Bamanyena ki yes project ya chakego. Inki tariko gender.
Bariko inyo moraibwensi morality ganda ko inkyo ko bwati onye project you is just a public PR etali se budget. You see a project here is a budget na boko bwati because so long as a project here is a budget it means chibesi ya inchiro. Na kero chibesi is only omujumba agende se minister of finance ko se permanent secretary of finance amatenga release this money to minister of roads a project ya nekoru. Lakini onye project is budget. It's just only illusionally thoughts yung montago thinkinga tigangende Gusii mbata inkorosi in the airport. Ocha olonchi airport vesachita yo. What do you expect a contractor call? Some of the contractors find themselves in a very awkward situation because the expectation from wananchi erenge a project you ango ya elir. But behind the doors or behind oise kogenda maiga ekate inyo contractor usana oirichves. He will tell you he has not been given any money. Do you expect a contractor on you in Tobia quality projects? Sometimes we need to be realistic to our people. To let it down in Tumnavara to let it down our people. We lie a lot. We live on lies each and every day. Not even one politician not neni rate benga inche project ya ne aronche tikuga rakini yeke maine keringa this project tell is a budget. Igo mungita. That is the truth of whatever that is happening. Toche a county government yeto ya Kisii. You see, counties get direct funding from the national government. And this direct funding comes with a budget. Kwanyoranga, omo MCA, niga tebetenga, enchoro nkorosinde egesimororo chibese chiabe ku in the budget. Even a contractor have identified. But the only challenge is we don't have serious people. Our employees in the county government are not motivated at all. You find that they have lost morale of work. So, and you know, when an employee loses morale of work, it means nothing will happen. That is the reason why in each and every financial year, Kisi county government to take exchequer. We are given money. Instead of utilizing the money within the budget estimates to our city, we return the money back. Kwanyoranga, that's the reason why most county governments go pile up bending bills. A contractor and all go sabuai or sige simakeli, kerakoli, or expecting wakanuare, tag wakanu singing this money was not committed each year. So what that is prevailing our county governments and our country is poor leadership. Unless and that is to Israel and Munaba Kenya to let what we call a revolution. And this revolution with a leader or a fairly farm. That is when to development in our country. I want to give a good example of Singapore. A president here every day he wakes up and talks about Singapore. As a political analyst, I want to give a very short story on how Singapore developed to what it is today. In 1980s, Kenya used to give Singapore donations. Aba Singapore bwate nchara, it was a poor country like Kenya, bango sabe misaada, bategemea ne misaada nechiron. To a point where Singapore ekero ya chaka yaba to the extent where Kenya. Actually that country ekero kola in history, Singapore nige bwate bisa kubibere. Aba Singa na ba India. So Indians had started migrating to India, go to Singapore. I think Singapore is a good place to live. A lot of opportunities because India at that point is very saturated in terms of population. So Singapore baga take over serikali ya Singapore. Aba Singapore obugima boga konga pi bakalete revolution. This revolution came with a president konga Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong is the father of development in Singapore.
All right.
Mao Zedong ekerasoa akapeka machikale very strict agatebanga anybody korumaega okumiru amangana yobo kurumi nonde bwensi go chimotwa akakoro bokurumi immediately akawa executed. There is no case to argue about. It's execution. Within a very short time, that money which was lost to corruption and other useless expenditures chikaba generated, chikaba pumped into industrial development. That's why Singapore is one of the most industrialized countries in the world today.
Alright. Mero gitatu na isato chedai kaga chinsani isato chebo mwambe mwishipa singecho yebe nutete tuenda togende bwangu kidogo tu. In fact ngote banga singecho ningana tutawombe ni university ya Kisii Gosomi. Na manoboni ganto maite serikali nisugumete sana umurubiri CBE. Litanga ni kurwali umurubiri CBE na kiyorochi. Is it everybody mbaro na safe side?
If there is a curriculum that is a good curriculum, nande era a lot of progress in terms of economic development in Kenya is CPC, CPE, competence-based education. But the challenge is we don't have enough resources to fund that program. Okonyoranga, you want every comprehensive school to practical courses, but these practical courses needs a lot of infrastructure in place. Otateko tuara asomyo mwanafunzi chikosi chio koboko at a comprehensive school. Do we have those labs? Ndobwate those equipment chikosomi these kids. We will still be teaching these kids theory. Like for example right now, you want to nurture talent in terms of games, in terms of music, in terms of every ndobwate music rap in those schools. How will the kids only be running theory? What we don't have is priorities in terms of funding. If we have the right priorities in terms of funding, nearly half of the budget or a quarter of the budget should be channeled towards this program, because this program will progress in terms of nurturing somebody to whom or to what you feel is his or her strengths. So, but as it is right now, we have a lot of challenges in terms of implementing that curriculum. Even at the university level. Yeah. Universities are not prepared to receive those CPE students. And the next year, the first lot is finishing. We expect them to be channeled to the universities. I don't think whether there is any university that is prepared for the same, because there is lack of funding in terms of transition to university.
Mwarisi concern.
you see, no less concern on your treasury to what there's nothing that can happen.
All right. Mheshimiwa Ng'achire tosoe singane ye ya okurigi kiru kibora ibwense kidogo tu. Actually nkwaroche usiboni kantu watechi candidate ni kiludinge candidate kurwa rovangoro ituragusi Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Nkwaroche orobotirwa tifa. Yes, still William Ruto is leading.
You see, toise kobwati orobotirwa tifa, then it means William Ruto is a one-term president. Because for you to be a president in Kenya, you must garner 50 plus 1 votes plus 25% from at least 24 counties in the country out of 47. So Ekero William Ruto I got trade at 20, was it 26%? 24%, and he needs 50 plus 1. That tells you that Kenyans have lost confidence in him. If United Opposition one candidate, William Ruto will be a one-term president. I expected a sitting president to at least be rating at 47, 46, so that he will raise 43% to get 50 plus 1. I'm seeing a scenario where if United Opposition cannot unite, we are going for a rerun. Because as things are currently, if Gachagua goes to the parrot, Matiang'i goes to the parrot, Kalonzo goes to the parrot, Vuna goes to the parrot, and William Ruto goes to the parrot, it will be fairly challenging for somebody to get 50 plus 1. So meaning, we will go to a rerun where simple majority, if one gets simple majority, will be declared the president of Kenya. But inchemuno mwanasiasa, na ande inchemuna a reformist, timfile tinga United Opposition mbata kireko koba divided. The more they get divided, the more we give William Ruto a chance again to come back as a president for the next 5 years. The more Kenyans will be suffering the way they are suffering today in terms of hiking of fuel prices and the worsening of economy in the country.
So according to you, chances in Chirarocho United Opposition could be divided?
They have a very chances are likely because Senator Medu or you actually I like the way Medu positions himself, the way he conducts himself. Yesterday in an interview somewhere, there is no way more I expect Gachagua or what the 5 million votes I play second fiddle to somebody. Which means in case Gachagua kegende annual victory in court, ave declare dinga there is an illegality ya koretu quash impeachment yelebe quash Gachagua will be in the ballot. And the implication of Gachagua being in the ballot is that United Opposition will not be existing as a united front. Instead, everybody will go his own way.
Bakogenda his own ways, their own ways?
There are only two options. One, William Ruto will defeat them first round, or nobody among them will get 50 plus 1 as per the constitution, nobody will get 50 plus 1. Kenyans will be prepared for a rerun.
Alright. Meronge tatona kianda chidaka chiminchuru manchomo tegelichinsa ni sato chia bono mambe. Mheshimiwa Ng'achire tura irana se bunge yago kidogo tu. Ngote ni nirogote bagose ngote ni nura se kiroge kikyobo Senate. I don't know why you decided to do so.
You see, sababu ya kogera ngote na mno Senate. One, inche no monto someta mangana governance. Actually, the biggest challenge as a country we are facing is those people we have entrusted to oversight serikali, they are not oversighting serikali anymore. Most of them are in bed with government. Also, Kisi County gas and got no senator. If MCS were very candid, Simba could not be the governor right now. Because Simba, as a governor, occurred so many atrocities to the people of Kisi County. And Yakitalia KTLH is not the KTLH we used to know during Ongwae's regime. County Assembly. Mbara etian mesua dende onsi erembactive to the people. Ligere lichibe stoko irani to exchequer in every financial year. Last financial year to iran 2.7 billion. 2.7 billion is money chira rosi rami koruga mbaka ikoronga alinya livale masawa. We have done nothing. But the MCS are just scrapping. Simba has rendered MCS as a sycophants. We don't have oversight anymore in the County Assembly of Kisii. The reason why I'm going for the senator, the work of a senator is to do oversight. Ega assume senator, onyoru usichive chikonga 4.5 billion Nairobi. it should come back to the ground because chibesa chiri chiaru Nairobi with a budget estimate. Echirule onye chiaru Nairobi chiko tabanga emeshara ego chakwera 1.5 billion. Chipara chire 1 billion. Nyakitali ire 1 billion. I must get back to the ground. Mbuga tichibesa chiri 1 billion chinyakitali muna chiaba utilize to the last shilling. That is the only challenge to bwate na baseneta to atwale inkisi. Ntorara museneta no yo moko genda back to the ground inside ya bwatinga akole public participation abo lia bantu ba nyaura. Ese budget ya Kisi County ya 2025-2026 chiba nyaura ya betaro kete 3 million chegesima. Agende mpaka nyaura aligerigo segesima ekiki alemiro. Na ande gesima nkiki ale mutu competition nuna geta keire in the period of quantities. That is the work of a senator. We have not seen senators across the county doing so. That is the reason why Obo Senator Boni Obota young and a serious person of a senator.
So you're trying to say that our senators across the county ya Kisii, Senator Nyonka from the county of Nyamira mbara ikira ni mirimo ya Burungi.
Batemire ese bakonyara. The only challenge babuata is our governor because of the money and the influence. They have influenced MCS. But they recover counterparts in oversight. MCS are completely silenced. The reason why senator nature eoge. Tabuga tibanto bako mu support. Because a senator awene correspond directly in the county assembly.
So ayenkyo chikokora kweleke koranga ngokora muri mirimo ne county assembly.
If I'm elected as a senator of Kisii County. One is to make sure that I have a very serious and a very good relationship na ba MCA. Secondly, insabe abantu bantegerete boniga choro mu MCO chiete kerasi omaite kiagokora o understand it ingegasi ya oversight egasi ya tali kwanda korara independent na executive. The first thing I will do as an elected senator is to ensure na letera ba MCA amo to form one team ekorogunga a serious county oversight team to move na ba MCA ba to the awards bante binge budget ngabeke genteke nkera ko budget ngabeke kiakolo budget ngabeke ke chibesiali. And from there is when I will give a feedback to the Senate. But having a chibesa chia to a secretary, a chichinga naiga gente kenkera koru. Secondly, a senator is somebody who when very mature. Despite your political differences, no more you have to sit down, move policies in place. That's another thing I will do. I will bring about leadership and exemplary by bringing all county leaders together to protect our resources. Thirdly, because we have a serious unemployment challenge in the country, as a senator, one of my roles is to make policies and laws. I will go to the National Assembly, to the Senate, and make sure that a quarter of the money that is channeled to Kisii County or another county, a quarter of it is completely pegged on amangana cottage industries. Ekero okobeka lichi kese katibanga. If we give Kisii County 4 billion, 1 billion should be channeled directly to cottage industries. Within a very short time, we'll be having cottage industries all over Kisii County, and we will resolve the challenge of unemployment.
In fact, mheshimiwa wankuru ase ikiama kiucha utenakuru.
Inche no monto Jubilee na ande inche presidential candidate ya neno mheshimiwa Fred Okengo Matiang'i. I am a member of Jubilee and I'm supporter 001 bo moske Fred Okengo Matiang'i.
In fact ase Jubilee twarura bara yabange bagwesoke sana asokolige kirogekiga. I don't know unkretere kimo gocha gutumikana mona sokonyura chitigiti.
Ikiama gya Jubilee ya ashwira or aspirantinga there will be a free and fair nomination. We expect moske Fred Matiang'i. This is the litmus paper bwate ko rugusi. There is nothing you should get worried about more than 10 nominations chia Jubilee. Because all of us want to be associated with him because he's our son and he's going for presidency. There is that pride that Kisii people are producing a president. And you know, if Fred cannot conduct elections, nominations in a free and fair way, he may be a president minus MPs who support him from his backyard, which is very dangerous in democracy. You must be able to have your people supporting you seriously in order for you to implement your policies. Nche almost Fred Matiang'i sa tegerete ni maitenga na bana manya mangana a challenge como te bia bwate a litmus paper bwate ko chi chikule chire mutua ne nomination ya Jubilee.
Mheshimiwa, I had last time kwamba abasayigete bakwemurungania. In fact na simitandao bagotebanga ibagari abasayi ndiyo ase kiama ya Jubilee. Is it true?
Tinta tikota nga that is true. Omanyete muntu ta uko create liribaga. You create your own niche. Basa tigatutika ko ba very lazy. Tigatoetome. Whether you have money or you don't have money. kitu ya kwanza you must show interest oetome elinda abantu bamenye ngo oetome ole bagokonye oete elinde tokonye nse yaitu. So ese kiama kiligia Jubilee is for everybody. I want to call upon all young aspirants touch together as a team na into to form our own team elinde when we go to the table kwanya yanga na into abasa into lese meseli obrai.
In fact mheshimiwa korase ebunge yago mheshimiwa naro gotena sekero gose chinkumachirao mheshimiwa naro kurukunga giduno yagi gotena raso kurekero kyobo governor chinkumatogeta se emitandao. So naya at the same time korase bunge yega kurabo machoge gotenero kurigo senator.
So, that is true. Mheshimiwa Gideon Nyandicho yagi na ndeno ne mutatamo kali kuligia bekero kyo gavana, lakini you should not worry me because Gideon Nyandicho yagi ni gale kambieli ende to komnyoki ni gale kiama kia UDA na inche ni gonde kiama kia Jubilee na UDA ni gere like day and night,
lakini na kiomo governor no mo senator bararwe constituency yemo.
You see, we should not peg our candidate on where you come from. Right. We should peg our candidate on the manifesto somebody has.
Okay.
When we peg our candidate on where we come from, that is where we go wrong in politics. Choose me as Dennis Omwamba Masenge, the way you know me and the capability I have. Don't peg me to a constituency. We can have a governor and a woman and a senator coming from the same constituency, so long as they are good leaders, so long as they have a transformative agenda. What is wrong with that? It's high time we do away with these impediments. Chinke ngoyo no mo machoge o no mo basi o no mo nyalibali. That is where we go wrong. We should choose a person according to his capability, but not where he comes from.
0785102102 machumo utigile cheda kemerongene na isano na ibire cha minchuri chinsa ni sato chia bono mambe sangana into SMS la no 70610202 onye kubwa teriboli gochiase omoishimiwa nkikiro gukwana sema bia bono bona radio
Vuna lo jendi simasikabe ko rulia gongera ugembo oyino mu machogo no burabu Oliram engenja kwanire gota na roli no muntu somere tu mulimo munera somere te siasa na bwene ta advice ya wananchi na ndere ti ufuna biamono mwagerire into binde twamanyire kura somo na siasa oyo njege ndora ko boli ngeriga omuntu yogosera omwananchi ikobono muntu ndebweshi utabwati yogosera ingigeko gerataira kyegero yogosera ekera irire gwikazi kuira ni yogosera buli kwaye wesipi to chandege ngiyego rumwana icyatari kuigwa masomo munaya bono moyisimi bo yasomire iga nakiki nabo linga ingigeko gera gusi tutari kuigwa angeli chimuna ngiyeko tutari kuigwa munabona twase migwe ngenje mbiyamono.
Thank you so much, asante. 0785102102 semesele no 706102102 Vuna radio. Hello
radio Vuna ngajima yubwakire mataranganga ko bochega machoge ya jaje njemboli omoisimi boyiga ere bunari gatanya go amonto bese ndeyo sitanya go siande ke ko garanyone bese ri arure nona bakwa go mate mbari ko saba bese abantu abago jabaza goriye kerogo nabwo konyora bako abantu kibeza bantu abambasa beti bono ngaya magoza ko bera nande abantu abo mate magiye ko debekene nabo muyabuno yiga naenda ari kero tu amochorire nabata kore binte byago toteze esauri abantu abange bakoriye gazi esauri yo gitwite nengi koirige kibeza nekibeza kikogera bariye gazi.
All right, sante sana. Actually point ni dawa kwanire nga nitibesa chekogera mukuriye gazi Vuna radio. Halo mheshimiwa tukukwanira uri.
Hello radio Vuna. Uyo Mr. Forge mukuru sauti mugirango mata igende nareko tebera buno mugambi na motegerere buyayiga bono boko ngubo jiwa bekero mugambi atara so ekirogo na baogwa na mangana mangwa na sana aroba abantu bata baneke no yonere lakini bonekera so iroborai ebintu abantu bande bagujibagwana ndiri kujibya korekana bono igende kinare ngujikotabaneke
igongwana buno omonto obwate kati bono tiga tochore omurayo gotokonya gwetera samagendero na bintu binde na asinginto obugima bwense bono bwakonyire asinginto ya corruption abantu abange baguri bikikura asense yamoyo kwegendereri asinginto naro yabaraye abange terata soburayi niga okwana mangana mayenge ncho lakini bono kagosoa weba bono egano ene gise sabone gisibire kiyo bisi cyabagambye kigoyire umugambi wane egari ekarolege sugetense nabakora asaruji abantu egiyo lakini gakoira kisese kigo siborwa obisi yasiye teri kutoka raisi noene galitokora umutugo umugambi bone gende nale kokwana ro mwana uyo minto na igure nguru sauti mugirango mata se itaso botato tondi akinya saa tigamu bwadesi ayu akwanire gakikara asobora ingengo musabera ama yasobora atokonya singencho no gokonya katutagete na nditali no gokonya kuwa ni gongo itakwenda buoye ajikonga ibitume guni
all right
ntonda agani agonkonya sangine paragete sarigete komorwira arwarire omunyoki bunya gitari eparengia nagendo kende omuntu bakasinyene nerense yamoga bukare una mayeri yabeire omujireire omwari gani ngiye talinga tomujire ngabana nimba tomugaba na sikunyi marogora akego ukire bwo mugaba ukire bwo mwemuziye ukire bwo mujumbe ngagendo gete nabunarombobe na sesabu ya toiteire buna intubona abatoko tobwari kikari to wakachikura nelinga toko chitwa kuchibesa chiado Tanzania obongo kabisa.
Alright.
Nagendo kende munaga sauti mugirango egento ngenaro lire abantu bakonya guyetemeji bakonya kuligi chikura umuntu agwete omukiwo omuntu okote nangege pande amalieta agonzi ebintu bune ebyo ngankweli bweyamo ebine ebintu byobojinga mimi sitaki kitu kama hiyo wona nalengo tebera umugambi nyasati gamokonye ayu akwanire atokonye elinde nsegendere buya karo umugambi neje n'umugambi ona mubarikike sana umugambi.
Asante, thank you so much. Nataka muboringe kinigi ntoyo koreka sauti mugirango agotenga John agotenga magi nonda sumurubira St Alex Mauti Korwa Maro Kisii County magi tume okay centenary ujumbe ya Jonathan Matuko agotenga good morning kora Ekiumbu agotenga magi tuko ndani Vuna radio hello
aya magi wakire
wakire
ana igwete ningona ndeti angata yo tende itombanyeti
ya yeke babantebie
Alice Agunga.
Karibu sana Alice.
Njege ntanale kokubana gakyo murai. Abantu abanonye to bakubuli chikura toko bachikura. Bona aromba tegete chikura. Lakini bagenda batakora kibatu biba. Bona ebirole mbigoire. Bona lirolio batoko bachikure timba chibatakoye muna bana Ruto bona yako kwa nebintu binte bitana ko bikora nje nana kora sibikorire ko mama kutabantu babamire bona isikotole.
Asante.
Nje nabona leko kwa naiga magi.
Asante Alice, thank you so much. Mheshimiwa, nganchire turagenda na maburia kabisa na mono nganchire tuchakire kurwa sengani y'abantu bagwita sichinka bagotibinga ngege pande. I don't know usini na kwarira.
Engane yunanyerora na ense tobo machoge borau ese abachumbe gete go sabantu gete bataite kogora chikadio konyoranga ngote getogole chikadio irese okoboli chikura ngelindo chikotwara abantu ogochakera kero ogochikori gichikura. Actually that is a very bad practice. Tigatoba bantu to embrace democracy. Mwananchi uli bo machoge borau go somuntu Kisii County tigachoro munta according na magania ye gose na kiaro leadership skills yo muntu yu tikakogora abantu kurunyali bali olete mu machoge gosogole abantu ku machogo ire nyali bali ngelinde esengincho taite koira chikura abantu munabu ekero kwaro muntu kugora chikura gakoira sangao ohitali murai muntu itabwati leadership skills umurai no liyo koende constituency yae gose county ya convince abantu nga ningi saine nkogamba chisera chiane nechi ngakere bagwakere gose mbagwakera iga abantu bamintekera mokore bintu munebyo ne bachikura chiasigetu manyanga muntu ngamuno itabwati burayi bonde bwensi oyino muntu gochagokora koligi best chain na kolia.
Alright. Mheshimiwa ingana nerega abange bakwanire nga mogochora kero mwachoriro gusekera muguchi mugocha biya lakini mugochoro mwa disappear. I don't know whether batebire saisi birole mbikeire se Kigali abisi nchiguro chisese nchisibire so eye kongirira nchimage kuboria nga access gose omwananchi nakia kogenda se nchirakia nanchire kogenda se account chiabisi chi account kogenda ide gusena magendera kuriya obokonya tagete ngwanchirwa bali
Ekenteke tangani tinta ketibana inchi ba minto gose omo Kenya rose gochoro burai. Because uburai umanyite naborero gochora kwanyoranga gwachori rondo mube mambi gochora gwachoro muya. Twensi ntubuye kaini muna toliga. Muna ncha mferi young. I'm only 34 years. I need to protect my career for the next of my life. I don't think ngange uburai boni ganinchake gweturutumba. Abanta bange bako uburai beturutumba mbali yokonyoranga montaro sirie besa isanire bona akoli uburai for protection ya mali yae. Igi yakabere. Nakina ini sisteringa, we have gotten to a point where this country must be redeemed. Redeeming this country, we need a revolution. Because muna bone serikali in place, magi muna nakwana. Serikali in place is there to make money, to mint money. We have only wash in the government. People are not interested in the people. People are not interested in whatever that is happening on the ground. I could have expected them mandamano muna yalero. Yesterday, the government should have addressed the issues chiko bala is no mwananchi. But they have allowed them mwananchi kogende para ko demonstrate. That tells you that the government does not listen to the people. I expect us to choose leaders pabuata maono.
Mheshimiwa kwa bori gwanga kwanya ko seronde na indinga omwananchi ini no mwamona liri ebesa na kigakogera gochasi bale ekero kubwaterania ningane yenga kwa kweli ne chibesa chikogera mbogende kuri yuburai gose emubwate nkoreringa nemirimo mugochokorera mwananchi
tinta kitiko kana ngana gosera it will be lying patiko sera kwane nigo kolega magio chonte binga nimbwato umwana muruire mweshimwa ga kinkonye umwana ya runyagitali gose magi mama no muruire ale gose ntubwata matanga. That is what I do. But what I don't like ngenda matanga ngeka na kolira matanga ngomontambu atiante nganga 50-50. What will 50 assist him? 50 shillings is nothing in this economy. We need to make sure nga umwananchi umunginorio konirige na linogulia magena linogulia very transform lia very processed ligenda America lirete dollars from America likonyo munginoli. And that is possible. The only reason or the only challenge we have is we elect anybody. Abanta abagucha nechibesa nabutoko achiwoshi tu aba obugambi ketu aba iro bugambi bagenda bachiko multiply their money. Ba forget about we young people who are a generational change to the future.
But naro bolinga inkigakogera mo Kenya tare kuiwire gori nyangane yogosera.
The challenge is Kenyan politics is yaikire to a level where tokoligeringa oyono minto oyotali minto oyonoli but diganda raboli. I was in Bomorenda the other day. And Naroko the other day. Those people are crying more and they have leadership more than us. Let me tell you, lero igane banta to minto mogaka masengo kuligichikura. Onye itarati miza maoni ya neyo monto ali irreducible minimum stia nenga naisa ino kuligichikura. I will not vote for him. Let's have that heartinga omura itokochera no montoli expecting that this person, if I give him leadership, he can do better than the other person.
Thank you so much mheshimiwa temaite engana ya yomori liwo chiase mugusi
minto mwanya getinge montegerete inta getimba sabe chikura ne koboko gwokomosi. I want to assure you nga nimbwata maoni yogokorera abantu ba mintegas na achire kerasi buya ninga rastandira mangana governance aina aronso merete na hande no mwana mokendo musao mokende kumurange kerogeke na nyasanche geche omabokane. I promise you there will be a difference in terms of leadership ye county government. Omugabana muchikonga gakoreto muchieso inkoira na setole more tuagenda nainumba kesare tu amobolinga inkigeko gereke neke getarakoru. That is what we are lacking. That is the lacuna in oversight ekogera tole asetole today. So believe in me. Ninche nchake gweta makolime mbasabe chikura. I hope nga nyasaye na chaba kunenkoro monchore muno moseneto ino na anda I hope nga nyasaye na mbwatesi nkore muna maganiane na yaino ale esege pindikere moto.
Thank you so much mheshimiwa Soeka studio. Thank you so much motile sogosanga na itwe se enkwana yoto ya bene ye mambi ya bono ega kageretanga kwesemiria mangi mi radio Vuna 102.0 FM. Shukran sana soko bere sumo bere bwe mambinge ndoke the first lady tomerane ankyo enyira na batambe tomorrow is on Tuesday kira tugusanga nae sensemo ya kirari. Bye bye na kuganira botegelio bya.
Vuna FM
102.0 radio to Vuna FM tosese niwekere ngaki Vuna FM tosese niwekere ngaki 20 tosese niwekere ngaki tosese niwe na Vuna FM tosese niwe na Vuna FM tosese niwekere ngaki Vuna
Neke Minero.
Aya namangana maya asenjera yowe.
Omwancho motegeli charagire chinsa enye chabona mambia mangana maya senchira yobwengi kwa radio Vuna 102.3 FM editariane Abraham Onguti. Omuwaziri bwa gachi nechipara se county ya Nyamira Grace Nyamongo niganyolete kewa kuruwase lishirika lya East Africa Super Women Awards na wege kumbikia mando ya wanawake ikikianyolete kewa semirimo emi yaba gokora abara yabo nigo bakire buya gochya kubotekana nekewe bibairwe na koira ira yo gocha kogenda wakore mireme yo asomokia indeli gokinya e county ya Nyamira. Murai wense Daktari William Ruto na kolete chingwana no murai wense ya Azerbaijan Ilham Elif asense moya Olympic ase abakwanerete amwana ao gati yabo kubwatana ili kukinya obukoleli ase gati ya chinse chibere. Ruto ni galenge no muwaziri wa mangane chinse chisiko Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi ase gati ya baraibande bakiranete. Ruto oegereire serikali ya se bitambukiro yabeke mnenchire ye moyo kine uchumi na kugendelia nse ya Kenya. Murai wense ni gate evidence ya Kenya ni ya lenge asabe gusinywa wakana makabesa amanga yuchi serikali chietri konyora chiazabire asate biroboni gense ya Kenya niyo ya irire bitambukiro byogokeya eshiringi ya Kenya go chia chinse jisuko korwa emyemo na 50 omugoika emyemo na 29. Umura yomone wekia magia DCP ligatiga shagwa uyorase ense ya Boingereza asekiringa gyukuri yoko bwatiswa wekia makia DCP na bakenya bara sense yo anena aso kwirobera gukia sobochore ni goshagwa tebe ni garachi watana chikura cy'umura wense Daktari William Ruto gatigati ya soro ngolwa Rift Valley kuwatikana machibu yobochore obako bwakorekana sebunge emurwa dekil asomurwa ni wekia makia DCP Vincent Rotich uyo korte namba ibere ne chikura chiri wikomi timisano ibere na 50 asenonye nabo agoseli serikali kubatikana nobo kurume boli bogendete kwenekiwa asatebe ni gabara yabange be serikali yubagendete ko ibachibese chi serikali ni cyabana inje batari kwikira nimero berende onsi ya magenderero. Mwancho motegeri na senchira yuwenge chisa isano nonyora yuwa munaenda manga senchira yuwenge boigo ilitaria nenkoro kwa Abraham Onguti genda gutwara obotegeri obya.
Noro mwelio wa mangana maya asenjera yowe.
Vuna FM. Vuna FM. Vuna FM. Ase bibinde bia. Vuna FM. Asamatera mayai. 102.0. Asambaranga mayai. Sese niwe kerengaki. Abararia baya. Novo semi ujana mangana maya. 102.0 FM. Toguna ekeminero.
Ekebungo kilituko kurwa Radio Vuna.
Ayubu 11 kibungu kiage 13 aya no menye kuri no boremu ekiagero gosemeria nkoreo norendwe na gotimuka asobotoereru. Ayubu 11 kibungu kiage 13 aya no menye kuri no boremu ekiagero gosemeria nkoreo norendwe na gotimuka asobotoereru.
Ekio na kibungo kilituko kurwa Radio Vuna.
Eduka ya Pick Uniforms and Sports Center nigekoro isena kone uniform cha KMTC na buno mwibori obwato mwana KMTC gosori otagate gosoa KMTC tarera Pick Uniform onyore uniform wengiya ya KMTC ne chi college au ne chinyagetare egatie chi uniform tribakonia buna chi overall chi dust coat chigobia chianga cha bateresa ne chinde chinyinge. Pick Uniforms and Sports Center gosona bale chianga cha chinyangi chikwaya neche skuru naende ngokora bale printing ye chianga sinchira au buna embroidery plotter vinyl printing na screen printing inyora eduka ya Pick Uniforms and Sports Center nigo babwate bibyonse seligolirense kigimase wholesale elio oranyale goikeria Pick Uniforms and Sports Center nige gotoka se nyomba ya Baraka angena Shivling Enya asamange vakere simi ase namba 072